Today is October 15th, 2022. Current physique update. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So I haven't done a fitness update video in quite some time. I more or less just gave up on it. I know in my last video I was all gung-ho about getting back on track. That just didn't happen. I kind of went in the opposite direction, so I decided to stop making videos. I got tired of the making excuses and having the, oh, next week will be better. You know, and I reflect back on my whole, fitness transformation weekly series, and I realized that after week 20, there was just not a whole lot of positive progress. I made a lot of great progress in the beginning, and then it just became like a big yo-yo thing for the next year or something. So anyway, I got frustrated, kind of threw in the towel. However, recently I discovered that I'm borderline diabetic, and how I discovered this was I had a late meal. We ordered some Grubhub Mexican food, ate at 10:30 at night. I had a steak quesadilla, some beans, rice, chips and salsa, went to bed, had a horrible night's sleep, woke up in the morning and my blood sugar was really elevated, 280. And within an hour of being awake, it even went up to 350, which is really high, and I was really concerned about that. I decided to fast the rest of the day, called my doctor, made an appointment to be seen. Blood sugar did go down throughout the day, actually relatively quickly. By, I would say within 8 hours, it was back down to 100-ish. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is starting to experience some negative side effects of being overweight, having poor lifestyle choices, bad eating habits. I like my craft beers, as you guys know. That's not helping any. So anyhow, I went to the doctor. My A1C is just on the cusp of being type 2 diabetic. So, definitely insulin resistant. In some people's eyes, they'd say you're diabetic. I mean, I think the threshold is my A1C was 6.4. That's pretty much the start of diabetes. So, my doctor's going to give me 3 months to, get reevaluated and to see where the chips fall by making some lifestyle changes. And so I'm hoping through adhering to some exercise, better dieting, that by the end of the year I can kind of reverse this or get going in the right direction. Basically a big wake-up call for me. I've kind of struggled with my weight for, most of my adult life here, as far as probably from my early 20s all the way up till now. I'll get into reasonably good shape. Sometimes I've been in pretty good shape, and then I just fall off. And this is the worst it's ever been. I would say most of the time through my 20s, 30s, I was always never more than 280, something like that. So I was blown away when I hit 300, and then now the way it currently sits, it's just whew. So anyway, it's a big wake-up call. I have 2 young children who I want to be around for a long time. So my journey at this point is really about health and wellness, and fitness would be a bonus. So I'm not sure what I'll title the video series I'm going to start making, but it's going to be mostly directed towards health and wellness. Fitness, kind of like I said, is just a bonus. I'd love to be super fit, but the reality is priority is just being healthy. So anyway, I have 2.5 months to make some changes. I'm on week 2 of not buying my typical, allotment of weekly craft beers. Here in the Chicagoland area, we have a ton of great beer that gets released every single week, and it's just something that I need to cut out. And then obviously food choices. So I went ahead and stocked my freezer with a bunch of quality food. Check it out. So we have about 11 pounds of beef fat to make tallow. We have fish. We have shrimp. Lots of beef, steaks, more fat. I have skirt steak, I have picanha, I have New York strips, and I have ribeyes. And we have ground beef, some chicken, some salmon, more salmon, and I had a great deal, $1 a piece on these Jimmy Deans. How can you say no to that? So that might be like a once a week treat, but basically I am stacked for carnivore diet. All right, sorry about the phone alerts going off, but as you can see, I bought a lot of steak recently. A store near me had great deals on New York strip loin, ribeye roast, flank steak, skirt steak, picanha. So basically I bought a ton of it. So I'm stocked up with lots of quality food. I am gonna do mostly a animal-based diet. I feel best on it. I don't eat a lot of carbs that make me feel great. I just like the way they taste. And vegetables always just bloat me, so I don't have much interest in eating a bunch of those. I'm going to continue with what I was doing before, eating like the 1 pound of beef Braunschweiger once a week to get my vitamins, micronutrients, basically through liver. So yeah, mostly I think as I mentioned before, that's like a 60% blend of like liver and beef trimmings, 60% liver, 40% beef trimmings. So it comes out to like about the recommended 5 to 6 ounces of liver a week. So I'm going to go with that for micronutrients, and then the rest of my diet's going to consist of mostly some form of most likely beef, fish, and eggs. I don't do a lot of chicken, and I don't eat a ton of pork either. So I like bacon. But as far as pork goes, I don't eat a ton of it. I'm trying to stick with like fattier cuts. They seem to make me fuller, satiated for longer. Not necessarily going to eat a ton of fat. I'm not a big proponent of that either. I think calories matter, so calories in, calories out. But like I said, I'm not gonna go with like uber lean protein. I'm probably going to continue taking. I still take all the same supplementation that I was taking, that I kind of outlined in one of the prior videos. So nothing's really changed about dietary supplements. I mean, all those I think are important. So I've continued to take them throughout this, even period of failure. So anyway, that kind of wraps things up. Up until now, of course, diet, exercise has pretty much been trash. In the past 2 weeks since discovering my current situation, I have eliminated, for the most part, craft beer. I think I had a couple beers out with a friend, but like I said, haven't been buying any. I'm going to keep that up, and just really like try to cut it out altogether. Same thing with alcohol, cut it out. I don't drink a ton of alcohol anyway. I know I have a bunch of it, but really it's just beer I like to enjoy, and that's super high calorie, high sugar. I don't think anybody wants to know how many calories are in their hazy double and triple IPAs, but I bet it's a lot. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm going to try to focus on moving a little more. It's getting colder out, so walking is a lot more enjoyable this time of year. So I'm going to get out and start doing the walking. I also have the treadmill I can do when it gets too cold. And then the other focus is going to be fasting. I'm trying to get into OMAD. However, my current struggle, or what I foresee as being my biggest obstacle, is lunch eating out. I'm always on the go at work, and so eating out is like a huge, I guess, temptation. When everybody you're working with is going to eat something fantastic, it's hard to like avoid that. For me, at least in the last 2 weeks of cleaning up my diet, that's been my biggest struggle. That's probably why I've only lost 5 pounds. So but anyway, that's going to be what I'm focusing on, fasting. I'd like to, if I can, get through the day and do like a nice OMAD meal. I'm looking to eat, somewhere between 1 pound and 2 pounds of food a day, meat, and then maybe 4 to 6 eggs. We'll have to see how it goes. It's going to be all just based on hunger. And what I notice when I do eat OMAD, I tend to eat less food because I just can't sit there and stuff myself. I feel miserable. So the other thing I'm going to do is try to make sure I eat my meal or eat all of my food at least 3 hours before I plan to go to bed. So if I do eat like lunch, it'll be like around 11ish in the morning, and then my dinner should probably be somewhere in the ballpark of like 5 p.m., something like that. So that's still a small eating window. It'll be almost like a 20-hour fast every day. So even if I can't quite make it to OMAD, I think that would be beneficial. Fasting has a lot of benefits for insulin resistance, and so anyway, I'm going to try to do that to the best of my ability. Try to be more physically active, and I'll just keep you guys updated. I'll probably start doing the weekly postings again, just kind of show the progress, and then when I get my labs done again in the end of December, I'll share that with you. Like I mentioned, A1C is currently 6.4, 6.4. I think 6.3 is like the cutoff for pre-diabetes, so I'm like right there. Anyway, so hopefully lifestyle changes will have a great impact on things for me, and sorry for the little bit of a ramble or rant, but that's what I got for you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.